Hello, in this video I want to go over how to answer questions on Wiley Plus that involved an edit key, so using an edit. So this is actually from your chapter 2.1 homework. I forget what number it is, I think it's number 3 in your homework, but chapter 2 section 1 and it's exercise 6 in the textbook. And it's about giving a relevant notation. So most of these problems throughout this semester will be about using the correct notation. And it gives you some symbols here that you could use. Mu, mu1, u2, pp1, p2, the 0.45, 45%, x bar, and so on. So the question states that there's a headline that 45% of children think illegal immigrants should be able to attend public school. And the report gives the results of a survey of 1,000 randomly selected voters. So we have a sample right here. So I want to do kind of a quick summary of kind of our basic notation here. So we have, I've got a little table with population parameter right here in the second column and the sample, corresponding sample statistic. So if we talk about an average or a mean, the variable we're going to use, or the notation, is the Greek letter mu, which is shown right here. Or if you're typing something out on a worksheet, you could just type out mu. And the corresponding notation for average or mean, if we're dealing with a sample, is x with a line on top of it, or x bar. I'll call it x bar. All right, the problem we're looking at right here in 2.1 involves proportion. So proportion, if we're dealing with a population, is lowercase p. And if we're dealing with a sample statistic, then it's a p with a little hook hat on top of it, or shorten it with a p hat. If you're writing up something on Word or whatnot, you could use this p hat or just type p hat. And then later in chapter 2, we'll talk about correlation. That won't be till the end of chapter 2. But the population, if we're talking about correlation of a population, then it looks like a p, but this is still a Greek letter. Rho, R-H-O is the Greek letter. And if we're dealing with the sample statistic for correlation, then we're going to use lowercase r. So keep in mind, a lot of times for population parameter, these are ideas. That's why I think Greek letters for average or correlation. These are ideas. These aren't exactly fixed numbers. Like the average height of an SRJC student is not really a fixed number, since some students are growing or shrinking or dropping or adding. But if we're looking at sample statistic, x bar, p hat, and r, these should be numbers we should be able to compute. They're in a computer and calculate. So going back here on example 2.1, since this is a sample and we have a concrete number right here, but particularly because it's a sample, we got a survey, we're looking at a sample proportion, and that notation is this p hat. All right, so I'm going to click on edit. And I have to be honest, this is a little cumbersome. I'm hoping Wiley Plus will fix up this setup. But I want to type p hat equals 0.45. So that is the relevant proportion, the sample proportion. So to do that on here, I'm going to click on this little button on the top that gives me the hat. And then in here, I need to click on P. I need to move away. So right now, if I keep typing, everything's going to be under this hat. So I'm going to just click the right button on my cursor. And then P hat equals, and then I'm going to click on 0.45. All right, so I'm going to click on submit in a second. This is the correct answer. So you click on that P hat, or the hat first, then P, just, click right on your keypad, equals 0.45. So I do want to point out also, let's see, let's just pretend we have more. Let's say we had to type in a average. You need to click on this button right here. This is the Greek alphabet. And here is your average, so mu. And we will talk about what happens if we have to compare more than one average. So you might need a subscript on occasion. So then you just do shift underscore and click on 1 or 2. That could give you the mu subscript 1 if you need that. All right, I want to erase, don't want that. Oh, one more thing. When we get to 2.5 and 2.6, you will need the row. And that is right here. So still in the Greek alphabet, click on row. That is the Greek letter rho for correlation. Okay, on this problem, this is the answer though. P hat equals 0.45. So I'm going to click submit and see that I got it right. Okay, if you have any trouble on these edits, just let me know. Hopefully Wiley will make this a simpler process as we go. But if they don't fix it this semester, feel free to reference this video again if you need help answering these types of questions.